Um, Welcome aboard. It's great to see all of you coming here today. And it's our eighth community call. It's more than half a year since we started this program back in October 2020. And every month of each year since 2020, we are running these community calls. And on these community calls, we talk about the power of technology and share our experience with it, as well as listen to people who work with the technology, and we try to learn from their experience with us. And we also like to make demos. We also like to give talks about some real practice, not only some things that we've built for the enterprise, but also what's going on in the industry and so on. And back in December of 2020, we've introduced DP. Alexei, who is currently here with lots of cats behind him and a lot of smile on his face. He was one of the people who made DP happen, alongside with Fedor Ignatov, who is our senior software engineer. And back in December, we made the multi-skill AI assistant platform available for the general public, so we can go there and you can download the repository and build your own multi-skill AI assistant with it. Here's a link, github.com/deepmip/dp. And several months ago, we decided that it's going to be a great idea to bring several very smart interns from Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology and challenge them to build a multi-skill AI assistant on top of DP. So if DP itself was built by Fedor Ignatov and Alexei Serikov and Alex Dmitrievsky and Dilyara Baymurzyna, so all the people who have lots of experience in conversational AI, we wanted to see what would fresh interns be able to do with the same technology, what kind of things they can build, and how they can actually surprise us with their imagination and with their positive attitude to the project. And today it's a lot of happiness that I experience as I want to introduce them and their job, their work to you here today. Tata, also welcome back. It's great to have you with us today. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to introduce Sergey Karbunov, Artyom, Mikhail, and I hope that Dilyara will also be able to join us today as well. And they're going to talk about one of the iconic personas, one of the iconic characters of something that you already know, but you don't know what exactly, and Sergey will tell you what's going on. Sergey, that's your stage. I'm stopping sharing the screen so you can start sharing your own one.
Hey, hello everybody. Let me share a screen with you. Just 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yep, we do. We can.
Perfect. So let's start our presentation. Can you see it?
Yep. That's positive.
Finally, yeah. Okay. So hello everybody. I'm Sergey, and today my team and me want to introduce you a multi-skill AI assistant built using DeepPavlov technologies. And today we will tell you what is multi-skill AI assistant is and how we have built our own multi-skill AI assistant. So this is our team. As Daniel Corner, you have already seen him right now. Also Artyom, Dilyara, Mikhail, and me. Okay, so what do we want? I think everybody has a character from film, book, or TV series that is very favorite and you want to bring it to the reality. So C-3PO from Star Wars universe was such a character for us. But besides the fact that C-3PO is our favorite character, he is very interesting because of his both personality. He's very talkative. He knows very much about universe, about cultures, about languages. So it was a very good idea to make a multi-skill AI assistant based on C3PO personality. So what is multi-skill AI assistant? At first, useful assistant must do uh, some useful tasks for us. In our example, we asked C3PO for some abstract tasks. You will see them later. Also, a multi-skill AI assistant must talk with you, and he must know many topics, and have his own opinion. Also, to make interaction with bot more real, you need to have a real talk with him. So, uh, so ASR and TDS technologies can help with it. About TDS technology, we have a very special surprise. We made almost the same voice as original C3PO, and you will be able to listen to it a bit later. Okay, let's move to the interesting part. What have we done for now? I will start with some simplified architecture of our bot, and if you try to use DeepPavlov agent, you will see that picture very similar to you. You will be right because that's almost the architecture of DeepPavlov agent. We used it to orchestrate our skills. So I will take a brief view on this scheme. So that some kind of pipeline. It starts with a text or ASR input from our user. Then we use skill selector to send requests to our skills. For now, we have very naive skill selector. It has no rules. We send user input to every skill. Then skill takes the input and gives the result. Because of the fact it is possible to have more than 100 skills, but we need to have only one response. So we have a response selector to choose skill. The rules are very simple. Every skill has some base points, and then we give additional points or take them back depending on skill rules. So when we have got a skill with the highest number of points, we give it to user using text or TTS output. You can also notice the knowledge base on the slide. Knowledge base is a very interesting thing. We started to developing it very recently. That is the thing about bot personality. So every bot needs to have its own knowledge, its own opinion, and we put it in knowledge base. You can see that it is connected with skills in both ways. So skills can take some information from knowledge base, and they also can add something to it. Okay, let's move to the skills. I will start with the ODQA skill, which means open domain question answering, and that's about answering different questions about Star Wars universe. We use a fun-driven Wikipedia about Star Wars called Wikipedia, and by using the skill, we can answer many questions. You can see some examples on the slide. So, how does it work? The technology is already implemented in DeepPavlov library, so we just take it from it. We also made some text preprocessing before using the models. And what about models? What I call a model consists of two parts, ranker and reader. The first one makes some search for articles in the Wikipedia database, and then reader tries to find an answer in relevant articles. And if answer is found, we return it to user. If you are interested in technology, you can read papers. I have links on the slide. But unfortunately, adequate skill can handle all of the questions. I think it's very obvious because there are questions about surroundings of our user, about role of our user in something like When we have an interaction with bot, we put user in some conditions. He has some story, so we can give that story using FAQ skill. It works very simple. We have some hard-coded questions and answers, and when we got some utterance from user, we try to classify it to some of question-answer pairs using logistic regression. This technology is also implemented in DeepPavlov library. And now I want to give a word to Artyom. He will tell you about the next parts of our bot.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. My name is Artyom, and I mainly work on GoBot-based skills in our multi-skill AI assistant. So GoBot skills are basically the skills that allow you to take the user's input and define which intent the user wants to, bring up. This technology uses the DeepPavlov GoBot framework and Rasa DSL. We use simple text-written templates to make the skill via some basic machine learning. Next slide. First of all, we have the spaceship skill, which imitates the technical side of the bot. It allows us to work with the ship systems. For example, we can ask the system statuses like, for example, the destination of the ship, the current status of the landing, and something like that. Also, we support the basic form filling, which allows us to ask questions about the special objects inside the topic. Next slide. Also, we have an etiquette skill, which allows us to answer the questions about some cultural aspects of the Star Wars universe and of the planet Earth in the current state. It allows us to make some kind of chit-chat like interaction with the bots and enlarge the style of the bots chat. Also, we have a translation skill, which is not based on the GoBot technology. It's just a skill that allows us to utilize the main CTPO's function like translation. It allows us to translate different types of text into various languages, and it is, pretty fun to use. And it is very, light in terms of the resources. It is based on the Google Translation API, which is a really nice tool, and some more basic pattern recognition via string parsing, because most of the questions about the translations are, really similar.
Let's continue. My name is Misha. Now I want to get not only a text response from the bot, but also a voice response, so that our voice is more natural. Let's listen to an example of the C-3PO voice.
Are you ready now? We're going to the next planet, Earth. Let's go.
Of course, the quality is not perfect, but this is already a good result. Okay, next slide. Let's talk about the logic of the walk. Initially, the program receives audio input with the voice that we want to synthesize. To do this, we took the voice of C-3PO from the films of the Star Wars universe and the voice of the voice actor. The encoder network receives embeddings from the audio that identify the speaker's voice. Further, having these embeddings and synthesizer and vocoder network, we're already trying to get audio from any text. And to improve the quality, this is post-processing, which increases the pitch of the speaker's voice and increase the volume of the sound. You can learn more about this program in the repository of the GitHub real-time voice cloning and read the article about this implementation. Now let's talk about our work and plans that are not yet available in production. What do we want to get? We want to support the ways of communication, not only the text, but also through audio. We also want to recognize a person's emotions and also express emotions when communication, both through text and audio. And we want the ability to connect to any pre-selected servers. About the skills, we want the bot to be able to communicate on any topics related to Star Wars, so that he can tell stories about each character. The bot must be able to answer not only the previous questions, but also refer to the entire conversation. The bot must be similar of the C-3PO character. His voice and speech must match the character. Next slide. Of course, to improve the bots, we need to make a lot of test dialogues. That's why feedback from all of you and any people who want to communicate with our bot is so important to us. Okay, now let's talk about the bot's knowledge base. As mentioned above, we want the bot to have memory and can access it and supplement it like an ordinary person. To do this, we decided to use a graph database since it's the most conversation to store data. This allows you to store information in nodes and connect related topics with an edge. It's also convenient to scale it, complemented it. Let's discuss the logic of the problem. Next slide, please. The agent submits a request to the database, and the algorithm performs a deep search, trying to find a node with the necessary information. If you're lucky, it gives you this information. It doesn't not find then after the iteration of the dialogues, a node with this information is added to the database and connected by edge to the linked topics. As an IP, we decided to use Neo4j, one of the very best graph database, since it's fast and easy to use. Next slide, please. We also want to maintain a normal dialogues with a person, chat skills, as between ordinary people. To do this, we use program Y. The program parses the text and finds keywords, and depending on the words, either exciting a specific program Y script or send a query to the knowledge base. You can learn more about the technology in this repository in the GitHub. Next slide. Okay, now it's demo time. I gave my word to my colleagues. Thank you.
Artyom?
Artyom, are you here?
Artyom, is everything fine on your side? Let me try to nudge him.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we think it's your turn, my dear friend.
To show the demo,
I think so.
I thought Sergey was going to do it.
Wow. So, okay, I'm also ready to do it. Okay, let it be me. So, I'm sorry for some keyboard sounds on the background. It will be me. So, okay, let's try to talk to our bot. As I said, we put user to some special conditions. So let's start with something like exploring what is our role in this dialogue. According to C3PO, we are a new crew member who joined the team to fight against First Order. Okay, but what should I do? Okay, so I need to take care after the spaceship and learn some facts about galaxy. No problem. I don't know what is the First Order, so uh, let's ask about it. So we got some information about First Order, but I want to know more. For example, who is leader of the organization?
This is just fun. Autocratic military junta. This is just great.
That is a text from Wikipedia, so there it is. So after I know who is my enemy, I want to know where am I. I didn't ask about it, so let's do it now. Okay, we are abroad Millennium Falcon, so I'm very interested in the pilots. Whoa, I think C3PO misunderstood me, so let's try to ask in some
It's a
other way.
classic C3PO. It's a classic C3PO. It will put a
It
lot
will
of humor in the relationship with you, and it will try to avoid any kind of comment that you're going to issue. So it's just perfect C3PO, my dear friend.
Okay, let's be more serious with C3PO and ask him again. Oh, okay.
And that actually makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I think we are safe because our pilots are Han Solo and Chewbacca. So let's know some facts about Han Solo, like where Han Solo from.
Yeah, I actually agree with the comments from the chat. It's super useful if you haven't watched Star Wars yet.
Yeah, I think it's a very good comment, and I agree with it. So after we know that is Han Solo from Korea, let's try to find something interesting about Star Wars universe. So I heard the name Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I have no idea who is it. So let's ask C3PO about it. Who is Obi-Wan Kenobi? So Obi-Wan Kenobi is a first sensitive legendary human male Jedi Master. But who are Jedi? So Jedi are guardians of the peace and justice in the galaxy. So I think they must have some place to have their meetings and so on. So where is Jedi Temple? For example, if I want to visit it, I need to know the plans. Okay, Jedi Temple is on a Coruscant. So that is unfamiliar planet for me. So I need to know what am I able to do on this planet and how I must behave. So let's ask about it. It's trickier. Coruscant. To stay safe. Okay. Let him think about it. Okay, we've got a very detailed response. So I see some thieves, murders. Oh no, I think it's Coruscant is a very dangerous planet. So let's find something about how I must greet people to stay safe.
And imagine how C-3PO would actually sound. Going to nightclubs, gambling houses, bars, and pleasure palaces at night is suicide. Okay, I think Mikhail could do it much better than I can. But I can just imagine how he would do it. I mean, C-3PO would do it. It would be really fun.
It's C-3PO like saying we are doomed. So, okay, I want to greet someone in Coruscant. Let's ask about it. Okay, we've got a detailed response again. So, if you want to address the Chancellor, we need to say Lord High Chancellor. And if we meet Jedi, the reason we want to visit the Coruscant, we need to greet them with a slight bow from the chest. But what about our Russian friends? So I don't think everyone is fluent in English. So we can ask the translation skill to say something in Russian. I think it's a very useful tool to learn Russian, maybe, if you want to do it. So as we can see, there is a Russian translation of high-ranking representatives, and you also can translate a bigger sentence. So let's just do it for an example.
We actually wanted to do a translation from and back to Klingon language, but my dear interns, they said that they would kill me for even a slight idea of merging Star Trek and Star Wars in one AI assistant. So we decided to not include Klingon translation.
So for now, you are all familiar to our C-3PO multi-skill AI assistant, and as a bonus, you have learned 2 phrases in Russian. So I think that's all. And for now, I'd like to open the slides again, and you are able to ask us all your questions about the presentation, and we will be happy to answer them.
I want to extend thanks to Abhishek and Nicholas for their comments, and feel free to ask more questions. We'll be happy to answer them. And if you're still typing, a couple of things here. This is going to be open sourced at github.com/deepmeeped in DP as one of the most complex distributives of our multi-skill AI system platform. It will be open source hopefully by end of May or beginning of June. It will also be hosted very soon on daemon.deepavlov.ai alongside with DP. And you'll be able to grab it and use it and talk to it in the coming weeks. And what's important is for interns who worked on this kind of thing alongside with their studies, and they have a lot of heavy studies in Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology. They managed to build this thing in just a few weeks, and that was a fantastic result of how easy it is to build things on top of our multi-skill AI system platform. And I would say it's fascinating to see that one of the skills is using ODQA. It was a lot of fun to have it on our demo.DeepPavlov as a component, but what Sergey and the team managed to accomplish is certainly fantastic. When you can have a chatbot that can tap into your structured knowledge base, this is a fascinating job. I was super, super proud of their achievement. Okay, now we have a question. What model did we use for translation? Did we try out MT5? Sergey?
I think it's a question for Artyom. Artyom, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you repeat the question?
What model did you use for the translation? Did you try out MT5?
I guess no. Only, well, I've just used the native realization that Google provide me with. I'm not.
So if I may ask, so you've integrated Google's API?
I didn't really study the insights of it.
Okay, but so for the translation, you're just like making an API call to Google's API,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, well that's cool. Okay, interesting. Thanks.
Sure. Yeah. It wasn't. It wasn't a goal of this internship project to build a full-blown multi-language translation thing. We wanted to build a multi-skill AI assistant with such a functionality. So it was a good idea to tap into existing translation APIs.
Google Translation API just turned out to be a very simple instrument that allowed us to get the MVP in like a day.
I also see a question in chat about what mechanism is being employed for selecting from the various responses. I mean, what sort of response selector is being employed? What is an idea of response selector? A skill returns not only the answer, but a confidence. A confidence is a number that can be compared to other skills confidences, and that confidence number is calculated by the following rule. If skill knows what to answer, it gives 3 points of confidence. Then every skill has 4 rows. 2 of them add points to skill, and 2 of them decrease points. For example, when we're talking about adequate skill, if adequate skill returned an answer, we give 3 points. Then, if we can find a question mark in the human utterance, we give 1 point. If we can find question word like who, what, where, which, we also add 1 point. But as I mentioned, adequate skill can answer the questions about surrounding of our user. So if we find words like I, me, you, we, our, we decrease points. So that's an example of grading the skills. And so then response selector just takes all responses, all confidence numbers, and takes the response with the highest confidence number. I hope I answered your question. If you are interested in architecture of that pipeline, you can visit DeepPavlov Agent Docs, and it is very detailed. So you can try to have further researches on the DeepPavlov Agent Docs.
Okay. So if you don't have any more questions to the team, they will still be with us for some more time, and we'll be happy to answer you in the chat. And the second part of our today's community call is a short update on what's going on with Google Summer of Code. It's a very short update by Oleg, and welcome, Oleg.
Yeah, hello guys. I will just start sharing my screen. Sorry for messing up the date. Well, so I have a small update on how are we going with the Google Summer of Code. So you're probably kind of familiar with what is a Google Summer of Code, but I just will give you a short reminder of what's happened, what is the whole thing. So this year, DeepPavlov participate Google Summer of Code for the first time, and this is an initiative held by Google with lots of open source teams from all around the world. Well, nearly like 500 this year, if I remember correctly, which consists of providing for students from all around the world the ability to participate the mentored internship in one of the open source teams, so that like during the summer from the June till the August, students have the ability to work in the open source team and learn how open source is built and shipped. And Google also provides Google also could provide some stipends, etc. So this is a really great opportunity to join the community. And we just had lots of communication with students. So this Google Summer of Code path begins with composing a proposal which describes what the student will work on during this Google Summer of Code. And we just had lots of communication with students who were willing to participate this internship with us, and we had worked out their proposals. And now we're waiting for the next stage, which will actually consist of like getting things done. So we just had this large blog post on how we just started our journey onto the Google Summer of Code. You can see the short link on the screen. And so what's going on right now is I forgot how to change pages. What's going on right now is we just received all these brilliant proposals. I suppose that it will be fair to say we just got your brilliant proposals. And we're just, this is extremely hard, but we have to pick the ones that we will work with during this summer, because we are limited in terms of number of available slots for the internship goals during the Google Summer of Code. So this is, for us, probably the hardest part of the whole journey, because this is a hard choice to make. And us and Google, we are working on the number of internship slots that will be actually provided during this internship. So that's what happens on our side. And just to show you how does it look for us, we have this dashboard where we have some, I just masked it, but we have some proposals to review, and there's a lot of them, and we're just now continuously reviewing them and having discussions on what to do with all this greatness that we all the proposals are brilliant. So it is for me, this is the hardest choice I was thinking about during the past a couple of years or so. So this is what's going on at our site right now. And the next the next step is kind of obvious, but still I believe it worth mentioning. But this initiative is great, not only for the students who will be joining us and with who we'll be working on the on our great tasks, but for the whole open source AI community, because building the Google Summer of Code is bringing us even closer to the future. So actually, that's it. I probably just will finish with this, and I'm now happy to answer your questions if you have any. And well, I will probably stop sharing my slides. So, do you have any questions? I see something in the chat. Oh, that's related to a previous demo. Okay. Well, if no one has questions, still I should just remind you that you have our Telegram group, so you can contact us anytime you want. You find appropriate.
That's true. Thanks to Google Summer of Code, at some point and several times, it was actually several times, we've turned through 300 members, and we're very thankful for that. It's really, really painful to pick those who we want to recommend for this year's Google Summer of Code, but working with you and going through your proposals and reviewing them and seeing how you improve them, that was a fascinating opportunity to learn more about you folks. And I hope that no matter how the Google Summer of Code will turn out to be, we'll find a way to continue our collaboration. And we wish all of you all the best in participating in this year's Google Summer of Code. So with that, if you don't have any more questions, I think it can be called a wrap. We worked, I mean, our interns mostly, but also our team worked really hard in the last couple of months for preparing this demo of 3PO. And I want to again say that this is something that you also can go and build by your own hands. And this is something that should be available to every decent software engineer in the wild. And this 3PO demo is also a fascinating opportunity to see how you can actually modify existing DP multi-scale assistant platform and tailor it to your own needs. I want to say thanks again to Sergey, Mikhail, Artyom, and Dilara for their great work, for their ability to coordinate and to make this demo and to make this presentation for us today. I don't know if it is their first time speaking in English and presenting their work in English, but in any case, I think that was a great work. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you too for creating our project.
It was a lot of fun. Okay, again, we are available in Telegram. We are available on our website. You can communicate with us through our forums, through Twitter and Facebook, and obviously through Telegram chat. And we look forward to see you next time in end of May. It's going to be again Thursday, last Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. Moscow time, 9 a.m. Seattle time. And see you next time. Have a great end of week and have a great weekend.